Hey, it's 9:10, Big 550, KTRS. We've come to a long week, and it's supposed to be fun and enjoyable in the Christmas spirit, but the news around the world makes it a little scarier these days. But it's 9:10, and we're going to talk a little Donald Trump this morning with a new CNN poll. But first, Ted Cruz, they're piling on good old poor old Ted Cruz. The Bush administration, senators are all coming out saying that, look, we just don't like the guy. People in the Bush administration have been quoted in publications saying, why should you start off hating Ted Cruz the moment you meet him? Because it just saves time. That is from an anonymous GOP honcho in the Bush administration. They just didn't like the guy. Senators don't like the guy. People who worked with him don't like the guy. Quite frankly, I've never met the man. But here, last night on The Daily Show, Trevor Noah tracked down, I don't know where he got the audio from, but his freshman year roommate at Princeton, Craig Mazin, who oddly enough is now a screenwriter and wrote a couple of screenplays, including Hangover 3, he really doesn't like Ted Cruz.
But look, with a man of Cruz's accomplishments, there's bound to be some professional envy. To truly know a man, you go and talk to the people close to him from back in the day.
Ted Cruz was my roommate. I did not like him at all in college.
And, I want to be clear because, Ted Cruz is a nightmare of a human being. I have plenty of problems with his politics. But truthfully, his personality is so awful that 99% of why I hate him is just his personality. If he agreed with me on every issue, I would hate him only 1% less.
Ooh! 1% less? Nerd burn!
That is that. Now look, I get living with somebody who's your roommate, especially in college. You didn't put the tube of toothpaste back. You left the toilet seat up. Why don't you put your socks away? Close your drawer. Why is your light on, right? I get the fact that you're living with somebody and just, their breathing upsets you. I get that. I understand being in a small, confined space for long periods of time and people not liking you, so I would hate for somebody to go back and ask every single one of my college roommates, what about Millhaven? But you would think over time, some of the toothpaste sort of violations would sort of lessen, and what they would be left with was, he sure is a bit of a talker and kind of annoying, but he doesn't want to club baby seals. So even though I disagree with him, he's a decent guy. This guy, all these years later, still clearly does not like Ted Cruz. In fact, one publication, I think it was still in that New York Times, quoted him as saying that he would rather have somebody he would rather pick somebody out of the phone book to be president of the United States than Ted Cruz. So there you go. 9:15, Big 550, KTRS. Let's talk